Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our viewers around the world. Welcome to the inaugural and pilot episode of your MMORPG News Briefing May 2018 edition with your host, MMO Newscaster number 1. With this news series, we will put out a video every month highlighting the biggest MMORPG news that has happened, in addition to sharing our thoughts with live coverage from our correspondents on the ground. But before we begin, we have some quick words from our founder and producer, Adrian. He first says, "Welcome to the first episode. He does apologize for the poor, terrible, amateurish quality of the video you are about to see. He also says it is currently in construction and awaiting further feedback, which simply means for backgrounds and all that good stuff, because we are operating out of his man cave." He also wants to thank his patrons on Patreon for supporting him and making this news series happen. And finally, he also says, "Note to self, this will be a bitch to edit." Oh, I probably shouldn't have read that one out. Anyway, let's begin. And thus, we begin our May 2018 MMORPG headlines with The Elder Scrolls Online. Last month, ESO released the Somerset chapter, which continues the game's story, which started in the vanilla, all the way up through the Morrowind chapter last year, the Clockwork City DLC, and now the climax is happening on Somerset. There's brand new landscape content called Abyssal Geysers, 6 delves, 2 public dungeons, and 1 new 12-player trial. In addition to that, the Somerset chapter also introduces jewel crafting for the first time ever on The Elder Scrolls Online, and players can now craft their own jewelry from necklaces to rings. Moreover, there is a new order as well, the Psijic Order, which will give players a brand new skill line to diversify their builds. Our Khajiit correspondent has more.
Yes, this one thinks our news anchor should loosen up a little bit, no? Well, let's talk about the Somerset chapter. This one likes it very much, and many sources like PC Gamer and other game media are calling it the best chapter to date for ESO. Why? Because my compatriot Razumdar is in it, ha! Okay, this one is an intern here and is learning how to report the news. Let's try again. Somerset not only brings with it a host of content like you say, but also adds new features as well, like daily login gifts, server stability fixes for PvP, making Battlegrounds part of the base game, and many more. As for the chapter itself, the story is the main attraction, as you say, because it is the climax and has many payouts from the base game from prior DLCs. This one has heard rumblings about how tedious it is to get the new Psijic skill line though, but your paws can handle the long travel, yes? In fact, our producer has already reviewed the Somerset chapter, and you can watch it in the card on the top right. Back to the studio now.
Thank you very much, Khajiit correspondent. Let's now move on to our next MMORPG headline from May 2018, and that is... Hey, do I have to like sit here and just sit still and look at the camera all the time and keep knocking this damn file on the table like it means something? Dude, have you not watched the news? Just sit there, do your thing, be professional, you'll rock it. Alright. And now, our next MMORPG headline from May 2018 is Bless Online has finally launched globally on Steam's Early Access. For many months prior to launch, Bless Online has been hyped up and talked up by both the community, players, and the media as being the next big Korean MMORPG coming to the global market. Unfortunately, on launch day itself, feedback was very negative. Our correspondent on the ground has more. Over to you, correspondent number 1.
Guys, it is a war zone out here. People hate the game, and there's so much hate for Bliss right now. It is hard to comprehend. Lots of refunds.
Okay, we'll be moving on to correspondent number 2, who is on standby and also online, who can tell you more in a more calmer fashion. Over to you, correspondent number 2.
Bless Online's launch day issues are very well documented, being hyped up by almost every MMORPG news outlet and content creator prior to release. The early hours of its advanced access turned out to be something of a disaster. Server issues, loading screen issues, optimization issues, and constant crashes are among the main culprits that prevented plenty of Founders Pack owners from even entering the buy-to-play MMORPG on day 1. To compound matters further, the players themselves had to figure out a fix, and had to tweak the game's INI files and OpenGL settings to improve performance and frame rates in-game by a marginal amount.
And for those that did get to play on day 1, the bad news didn't stop there. The gameplay itself suffers from underwhelming quality with subpar localizations and translations for the main quests and side quests, and even in the opening tutorial for new players, which does leave a bad first impression. Neowiz, the developers of Blast Online, haven't been idle, however, and have been releasing a constant stream of updates and patching and fixes for issues listed above since launch, to various degrees of success for players when it comes to improvements. We will be monitoring this closely, and GRM Adrian is currently reviewing the game, and you can watch that in progress by clicking the playlist you see in the cards on the top right. Back to you in the studio, MMO Newscaster number 1.
Thank you very much, Correspondent number 2. Now to our audiences and viewers at home, before we move on to the next May 2018 MMORPG headline, I am told that we will need to take a quick sponsors message ad break thing, which we don't have ads or sponsors because we are independently funded by GRM Adrian, but we have to take this anyway. So, we will be back with more news after the break.
World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth, coming this August, but you already knew that. Ashes of Creation, just because.
And welcome back to your May 2018 MMORPG briefing with your host, MMO Newscaster number 1. Moving on to our next headline now, and Guild Wars 2 has revamped its underwater combat system. Underwater combat in Guild Wars 2 now apparently feels more fluid when you kill enemies, and apparently they take as much time to kill underwater as they do on land now. There's also new content such as treasure hunting chests, which you can then get currency to trade in at the vendor in Lion's Ark for a couple of sweet rewards. We have a correspondent who covered this last month, and here's what he has to say. I will say it's faster. That shark died pretty quick, and honestly, I don't remember it being that fast. So if you look at the website, again, one of the things they mention is that they want to make you kill things quickly and as fast as you would on land. I can definitely feel that change. Okay, now let's see what the vendor has. I'd rather see your wares. Ooh, ascendant level stuff. Sunken Treasure Hunter. There we go. So this is what it's going to be called. There's Master Diver stuff in here. Okay, I see. So there's one for finding 10 sunken chests. This gives you 5 points. A title as well called the Freebooter. That's a nice title, Freebooter. I like that. So let us go and open this one. There we go. I've now done it for Kessex Hills as well, so that's one achievement point. In addition to a whole bunch of stuff. Coral Tentacle, which is, you know, some gems. 3 swim speed infusions plus 10, and a bunch of other green gear that really you can just get rid of or sell if you want to. It's growing on me. It definitely feels faster and fluid. I'll give it that. I mean, not that I was calling for this or anything. If Guild Wars 2 Underwater's combat stayed the same, I wouldn't be one to make noise whether, you know, they should revamp it or not. This was out of the blue, because only a couple of weeks ago, I think, Guild Wars 2 put out a news article on their site saying that, hey, we are going to be looking at making some changes to underwater combat. So I thought, okay, this could be interesting. I'm not sure why, and now we know the depth and the scope of what they've done. The addition of these treasure hunt stuff and achievements to collect, and ascendant level aqua breathers and stuff to get as well. So pretty cool. I kind of like that. In addition to that, there's also a new initiative going on for Guild Wars 2 with the hashtag campaign Welcome to GW2. This initiative was started by both ArenaNet and the community to welcome new players to the game. Our producer, Jerem Adrian, has also taken part in this initiative, and if you would like to play Guild Wars 2 and have never played Guild Wars 2 for the first time, we do have referral links in the description box below the video, so check that out. And finally, for Guild Wars 2, ArenaNet has also teased the arrival of the Living World Season 4 Episode 3 coming really soon. Not in May, because we are no longer in May, but probably sometime late June or early July. Our next May 2018 MMORPG headline takes us to Middle-earth, where the Lord of the Rings Online has released their executive producer's letter for summer 2018. The letter goes on to say that Update 23 is going to be coming out really soon, and it's taking place in the Iron Hills. So players who have finished Update 22 in Northern Mirkwood can now make their way forward.
There's going to be a new level cap, which is 120 being raised from 115. In addition to that, there's going to be seasonal instances as well, including scalable old dungeons and instances. Our producer Adrian sat down with Wiga to talk about these new changes, and we'll play you some highlights from that video. First impressions, what are you most excited about, just from this letter alone? What excites you? What's the big one?
New instances. I've been waiting for that since, for a while. I've just been waiting for new instances. I've been getting bored of the Mordor stuff.
There's going to be 2 seasonal instances. The first one is actually something that already exists. It is the Thrang 6-man instance from the Rift of Nur's Gashu. This will be scaling up, so you could grab 6 players if you're all in between or not even at the level cap, no problem, because everybody's going to be scaled up to whatever the cap level for this instance is. It could even be 115, and you can go and do it during the summer festival. Second, they are introducing another one called a Perfect Picnic. Now, this doesn't sound like any instance I've ever heard, so I guess this is going to be new. The description here is a festivity instance that allows groups of various sizes, including solo players, to enjoy a challenge at their level. So the first part of this, Thrang, is going to be great, I suppose, because players can go back and run that. That could be fun. And the best part is, if you're a new player or a returning player, not even at level cap, you still can do this. So out of the 2, which one are you more excited for? The scaling of an old instance during a festival season, or doing something new like these festivity instance for solo and groups?
The old instance, because I feel like maybe there's going to be some old players coming back. That means then my friends will come back and then we can all raid together again. I don't know about that level 120 though.
Okay, share your thoughts.
It feels just really daunting for any returning players or new players. 120 levels. It's I keep thinking about how I still haven't played a high elf, and I've been thinking about playing a high elf RK. I just keep thinking about I have to get it through so much, and now they're adding another 5 levels.
Up next, Black Desert Online has introduced a brand new class last month called the Lan. The Lan class is a she, and she brings aerial acrobatic combat to the world of BDO. We recently asked our Twitter followers what did they think of the new Lan class, and 100% of the poll results came back with the answer, she's hot. In other headlines, Trine World's Mmorpg Rift has had some interesting things going on with its Prime server. The Rift Prime server is, of course, a limited time progression server, which is only available to players who are subscribed to Rift. Among the changes are reducing the required XP per level from levels 30 to 49, and they've also started giving away 7-day free trials for the Rift Prime server as well. Now, I know a lot of the viewers here are probably wondering, where is the Rift Prime review from our producer Adrian? He wants me to assure you that it is in the works and it is coming, and his excuse was Bless Online and ESO snuck up on him. That's the exact words in this file that I'm currently reading out of. Now, before we get to more headlines, we have to take another non-sponsored ad break, and we'll be right back with more news.
Summer is coming, and we know what you did last summer. No, really, usually it's the same. Grind, 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 only on Black Desert Online.
And welcome back to your May 2018 MMORPG News Briefing with your host, Newscaster number 1. Dauntless is now in open beta. Dauntless is a free-to-play monster hunting game that allows you and up to 3 other friends to group up and hunt down monsters in the Shattered Isles known as behemoths. The game utilizes an action combat system that's RPG mechanics involving gear progression and crafting as well. And our producer Adrian has had a chance to play it, and you can watch a video of that on the card on the top right. And our final May 2018 headline for this episode is RuneScape Classic is shutting down for good. Developers of RuneScape Classic, Jagex, has announced that the game servers will be shut down on August the 6th, 2018 because apparently there's so many bots and bugs and security issues, and the game is so old that it cannot keep up with technology, so why spend money on it? Let's just go ahead and close it anyway. So those of you with accounts or have nostalgic feelings about RuneScape Classic, you have about a month or so to play the game to your heart's content and then say goodbye to it forever. We here recommend taking screenshots and making videos. And that's about all the MMORPG headlines that we'll be bringing you for the month of May 2018 in the MMORPG world. Stay tuned next month for the next episode where we'll be covering the major MMORPG headlines of June 2018. And hopefully we will have learned how to be better newscasters and we'll be able to cover more MMOs and talk more about them. So before we go, our producer Jeremy Adrian has a few words to say. Hey guys, Jeremy Adrian here. I hope you guys enjoyed that, or at least tried to enjoy that. This is a brand new monthly news series that I'm doing here on my channel where I want to talk about everything that's happened in the MMO industry from a comedic and satire point of view where everything's lighthearted and we can have fun and laugh about it. So I'm still working out the kinks. I promised to put this out this month for my patrons on Patreon. So all of you on Patreon that support me and got me past the goal to unlock this new series, thank you guys so much. You guys are making this happen. But as a pilot episode, there's lots of kinks. Like I said, I'm still looking at how to get a background. I'm working on saving up to get a green screen, a better camera, so that I can do these things with better quality. And I also want to make these things longer. I'm not sure how the duration will turn out, but hopefully it is a fun watch in small snippets. And a lot of the things that I will be talking about in this new series have usually already been covered on my channel, or I'm already reviewing a certain game. So I'll insert, highlights or clips and opinion pieces, and I'll also probably bring more people on just to give snippets during the news. I can either call people in Discord or, get your written stuff, get your comments in here and all that good stuff. So there's a lot I can do with this series. I just ask you guys to give me feedback if you want. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is it funny? Is it not funny? And if it's not funny, it's totally fine, because this is meant to be a WTF, what did I just watch kind of thing, so hopefully it turns out good. But again, thank you guys so much for sticking with the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed that. New people here. I usually do MMORPG reviews and stuff, but this is a new series, like I said, that the awesome folks on Patreon have helped me to put out. So hit the like button if you enjoyed this, and if you're new, subscribe to the channel for more MMORPG reviews, discussion videos, live streams, and apparently monthly news as well now. So once again, Jeremy Adrian here, and I thank you guys for watching. Roses are red, violets are blue. If you want to watch more videos, click on these cards. Anyone would do. And if you want to watch more videos, subscribe to the channel with the button down here. I know you want to.